This is Oroumieh with Julie Keene. We are the Queens of Poker.
Yay. We are here to support all women in poker and more women. We want more women in poker.
Yeah, can you believe that it's still 5% of the total amount of poker players are women still after all these years?
5% out of 100. Why?
I don't know. Women, especially single women and older women, we have a lot of expendable income and we love to do things that are competitive. And I think poker is one of the best things for us to get into, and it teaches a lot about life. And there should be more of us.
I agree 100%. That's totally why we started talking, because we see each other at poker tournaments. And why is there maybe one lady in a tournament, maybe four or five if you're lucky? Like, I just don't get it. And I'm hoping we can find some answers through this podcast, through interviewing people and asking men, like, is this your like man place? Like, don't you want to meet ladies? Don't you want to be around ladies? I just really want to figure out why. And I just wish I had had some answers, because I was afraid to play by myself in a live tournament for a long time. Like, you said you weren't intimidated, which I would love to hear about, but I felt like I was very nervous.
Like, that could be one of the reasons why it's still 5%, because women feel intimidated being surrounded by all these different men and not feeling comfortable, or just kind of segregated from other things that are going on. I know women
Yeah.
like to play blackjack and like table games, but for some reason, it's hard to find that balance with us in poker.
You're right about that. I didn't realize that there are way more women in those Cal games. Is that what they call them? Cal
Yeah,
games
Cali
or something?
games. Yeah.
You're right. Seems like almost half women, or a lot more than poker. Yeah, I don't know. Like, when I first learned poker, I was the one that sat behind my husband and watched him play. And then by the second time, I said, that's boring. You got to teach me how to play, or I'm not going with you.
That's funny. Maybe it's like instant gratification playing those table games because it's gambling. It's not really
Thinking.
it's thinking, it's not as competitive. For me, I like to play poker because it's a competition when you're doing a tournament. It's, to me, I
Yeah.
don't find it gambling, even though you're spending money, but you're putting that money towards a bigger goal, to win first place or to make the final table, to feel that excitement of winning. That's why I
Yeah.
like to play poker.
That's a great point. So also, women are like, I didn't play until my daughter was grown, because I felt like I don't want to be like the gambler, the degenerate, the like lady who's in the casino all the time, that mom, or wife. And then I got older and I'm like, you know what? You only live once. I work really hard. And if this is my hobby and I love poker, I studied poker, I play poker, like I think about poker. I love it. It's just similar to somebody who plays chess. Or
Correct.
yeah, but there's money on it. But people make money in chess too, right?
Pretty
It's an
much
invest. Yeah.
any game you can get, you can put money on it as a competition. So yeah, of course.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So maybe the negative connotations of gambling is one reason. Maybe there are some men who have told me personally they don't want women in the poker room.
Wow, I've never heard that. That's interesting.
You really haven't?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Every time I sit somewhere and I recognize people that I play with, they a couple of them will be like, "Oh, good, a pretty face to sit at this table with ugly guys. I don't have to look at ugly men throughout the day." So it's
that's,
like it's a refreshing, and we have a
yeah.
different energy that we bring to the table too. It's not so aggressive. It's not so, I don't know. It's just a different energy. I feel when we're sitting there, they're more relaxed. That's why I love playing
Yeah.
ladies tournaments. Those are my favorite.
Which ones? The
The
ladies?
ladies, yeah,
Oh, me too. They're my favorite.
yeah.
But you have a good point. Most men are awesome and they're so nice and they say nice things. But there's a few, it's only been a couple in all these years that say, like, And it's usually when I beat them in a hand, they like, they're tilting. So they'll just say like, if I wanted to play with a woman, I would go home or something like that. And usually it's much older guy. One guy was in his probably 70s who
Yeah.
said that at me, and it was a dollar table. Like, come on, dude. But yeah, most guys are cool. And sometimes they're just too drunk or too. There was a
Yes.
mentally ill guy the other night, but the casino is great about getting rid of those guys if they're possibly dangerous.
That's good.
Um,
Yeah, because you want to, maybe that's another reason, because sometimes you don't feel safe and you want to
yeah,
feel protected by the casino or
yeah,
the floor, men, women, if you're playing, because you're also there spending money. It's not just the men that they're there spending money.
yeah. I have had guys threaten me, like actually say like I'm gonna do something, and that's when
Oh my
I just
God.
go, yeah, I just go to the floor and say, you need to take care of this guy. Do I know how to protect myself? Yes. But do I want to? No. And I don't want to be in trouble or banned from a casino, and I don't want to fight a man. So I will only, like, that one guy was at Hollywood Park. I'm not so quick to go back there. I won't play cash there anymore. I will play the tournaments because I know one of the directors, he's like a poker friend that plays at the other casinos that I feel are safer for women. But I don't know that I would play if he wasn't there. I need to know that, like, Lucky Lady, they have our back. I've watched it
100%.
many 100%. Vince, Russ, they have our back. They have their dealer's back. They're not going to let. I saw a guy get banned for yelling in a dealer's face like 2 weeks ago. Instantly, he's just like, he's gone. And some of the guys got mad, but we're not going to have ladies in the casino if they feel scared for their lives, right?
Yeah, George is also really good there.
Yeah,
He's all
George
of
is,
them.
yeah.
I'm actually really
Betty.
surprised of all, and Betty, and the ladies are lovely.
Raina.
I'm just,
Yeah.
yes, it's really interesting to me that of all places that we both feel most comfortable is the
hmm
lucky lady, which is not
And
what you would expect.
that's interesting, right?
Yeah, it's I tell people all the time that's
Me
my
too.
favorite place to go because I feel protected by the the people that run the tournaments. They're friendly. You can ask them a question. They don't have an attitude. If you have an issue, right, sorry, they will take care of it. So that's really lovely.
Yeah, I think they're the best too. They are my favorite. I was not so happy when we moved from Hustler over there, but then I thought, you know what? Have an open mind. It's bigger, it's cleaner. We got two tournament directors, or like four or five now, when we had like three before, and they had
Yeah,
one or two at Lucky Lady. Um, and they're working together in shifts, and it's just more cohesive. I think it's great. And I tell all the women that in my study groups and stuff that that's the place. If you're going to play in LA, that's the place to play. I don't feel bike. I'm not sure. I haven't been that much, and I haven't played cash. I've only played tournaments there. Have you
right.
played cash there?
I have. I don't, it's not my place because I don't really know the people and I don't
Yeah,
play
me
cash, so
either.
I'm not comfortable. I've only really been to the bike to do special tournaments, like the ladies tournament.
That was
And
great.
then that was great. And then a couple years, a year before that, I went there and I did like a 1 day major $40,000 guarantee tournament. And I came in 22nd or something, which is
Wow,
really great.
nice. Crusher.
Yeah, thank you. And I got paid, but they didn't put, I don't think they put that on the Hendon Mob. They don't, right? Because the bike's pretty not.
I'm not sure, but let's check on that. I don't think any of my caches have shown up from the bicycle either.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
only time I cash there but I don't like playing there. It's not, I
I'll
don't feel it has the same vibe.
I agree. I agree. And
So,
I played a couple months ago at their last series. I want to say it was around my birthday, like beginning of April.
yeah,
They have good tournament directors there. One of the guys there was at Hustler upstairs before we left for a couple of years. I can't think of his name, but yeah, those seem like good tournament directors. I like that. I don't know if you noticed, Lucky Lady has females as tournament
I
directors,
know,
like
it's
Betty
great.
and Raina, which is, I don't see that anywhere else um, in
They do,
LA.
the bike has a female tournament
Oh, I haven't
floor
seen her
at
then.
the tournament.
Okay, then I've
She's
missed
there.
her. Do you know
Yeah,
her
you
name?
missed her. No, but she's Persian.
Okay.
I know she's Persian.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
but I was like, because I recognized her accent, I was like, "Are you Persian?" So, but it's been a while since I've
I
seen
think
her
I might
because I
have
don't go.
seen her actually. She's kind of short.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have seen her. I forgot about
like
her.
brown
And so,
hair, like
yeah,
brown
brown
hair.
hair.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know who the floor is like until somebody says on the floor. So that's something, if you're watching this and you happen to be floor or tournament director, go up, say hi to the ladies, ask them their name. Like, tell them if you need anything, let me know, because it might be their first time. And I was terrified my first time because my husband was like, you could get robbed. He used to drop me off and pick me up
I love
because he
that.
didn't want someone to follow me home or
Yeah.
try to roll me outside. Like he had all these scenarios of why I shouldn't go without him, but he didn't want to go. So I was like, and after a while, I said, here's what I do, ladies. If you are nervous at the Hustler and Lucky Lady, when they have valet, I just park right in front. I pay them 10 to $20 and I park my car in front and I hold my key. I walk right out with security and walk into my car. I don't do that
Nice.
anymore because I don't need to. I don't feel I need to, but at Gardens, I don't park way down in the lot either because it's not safe. If you win
Yeah,
money,
it's a large lot.
yeah.
The ours
So
has a large
I
lot.
do pay at the Gardens, which I love playing their tournaments. They are awesome. Cabin, casino, the tournament director is awesome. All the hosts are awesome. I love Gardens. It's a little for a lot further for me, but I love their tournaments and some of their cash games I could live without. But tournaments are awesome and I park. So you tell them you want to hold your keys and park right in front and that way. And if you ever feel unsafe from anybody, you just go talk to security and or I would talk to the floor and the tournament directors first before. So
That's
somebody
great
knows you're
advice.
going to security, right?
Yeah, that's great
Um,
advice.
yeah.
I was thinking when you were discussing the why more women aren't playing poker.
Hmm.
I think it's because all women really know about poker, like like the regular person that would want to play. The only thing they really know about it is from movies like Rounders.
Rounders, where the girlfriend breaks up with him for
Yeah, well, not
playing.
even that,
Good point.
but it's so seedy. They're only playing in underground clubs, and
Yeah, yeah,
there's violence, and
because
it's
it's
not like safe,
illegal
and
there.
it's
That's
illegal.
true.
Yeah, so that they have to go outside of New York City, or from westerns, where in the West they would shoot each other if because they would be drinking and fighting. So all
Yeah,
people really know about poker is from those. I feel like,
that is a great point. You're right. That's what I thought about poker
yeah,
before I saw like the home games that my husband was playing in. And
yeah, and I think.
yeah,
Go
before just going to a casino playing when we were on vacation or something. It still looked kind of crazy to me though, because not everybody, a lot of people were drunk at the cash tables.
They are. You
Yeah.
just kind of ignore them. I think
Yeah.
also, though, in LA, we're so lucky. We have so many different places we can play. There's a game, there's a
Oh
tournament
my
at all
gosh.
hours
Yes.
of the day. Every day there's a tournament. You never miss out.
Right.
And we're very lucky. Not everybody has that ability. And we
No.
have so many
Yeah.
people that live in this town. There should be more women playing.
For sure. For sure. And maybe we can talk about what we plan to talk about on the show. I plan to get you guys tips like how to learn poker for free as a beginner. Start with Poker Power, the app. It's totally free. And the little bots will teach you how to play it. It has the best laid out lesson plans for the basics. We'll be recommending books and coaching that I've done. And I don't know if you've done stuff like that. I want to talk about that stuff. I have some videos on how do you enter a tournament? How do you pick the right tournament? What factors into that? And then where can you meet other women to go do these things with? Do you have to just run into each other over and over like you and I have? Or there's actually great study groups. One of them is Pocket Queens. Go look for them, you guys. They are amazing and it's free. Like these are women teaching women and we're all sharing information. And to me, that's the best thing ever. Do you have things you want to cover?
I do want to cover the Women's Poker Association. That would be
Oh,
lovely to
yes,
talk about
yes,
that. What's
yes.
the Facebook site and your friends at Lips? That
Yeah,
would be great as well.
Lupe
Lupe?
Soto. She started two amazing groups. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do some. So these are all female tournaments, you guys. Like it might not sound fun to some, but it really is different. The energy is different, and we play hard and we play mean, like tough. We play tough, but not mean. We're
No,
always, yeah, we're
yeah, it
women.
feels like you're in a sorority when you're playing at a women's
Yes.
tournament and you're just
Yes.
talking and you're making new friends, but you're also being
Totally.
competitive. It's a totally different way of doing it than when you're playing against the opposite sex. It's interesting. I really enjoy
Yes.
it. And
And
so
that,
far I've enjoyed it. So I know people don't
yeah,
like it. I have friends that don't like doing female tournament,
I love it.
women's tournament, but I personally and you, we both
Yeah.
really like it.
I think the women are much harder to beat,
I
most of
agree.
them, but it's just so much fun. I went by myself to Vegas last around Christmas time, and I did the Ellipse tournaments. I did some at the Win for, I think it was WPT, and then I went over and did all the ladies tournaments, and it was so fun. It was a blast. The ages, if you're wondering, ladies, are from just 21 to all the way up to, I don't know, Barbara Enright was sitting next to me. She's a crusher. She was the first woman at a final table for WSOP. And I don't know, but I'm guessing she's got to be in her 70s. She looks amazing. She's sharp. She plays like a shark. I mean, and
Yeah.
she's just such a lovely person. So the age, it doesn't matter how old you are. There was one lady like had her knitting with her and was like working on stuff between breaks. But most of us were just chatting, and it just makes the time go faster in a tournament too.
Yeah. Oh, I'd like to talk about not getting tilted, taking your
Yes.
time and being patient in tournaments because
Yes.
tournaments are so different from cash poker. So
Yes.
there's a lot of things. And for me personally, I didn't grow up playing and reading books. And
Oh,
I've never coached with anyone, but I've just learned by playing poker. And over the
really?
years, yeah.
Wow.
So that's my learning and
You mean poker books?
college.
You didn't
No,
read
I
any
never
of the
read any
poker
of them.
books?
No, and
Wow. I
I
see. I have to know all the facts. I had to like read everything to know that I'm doing it right. Now I'm trying to get
well,
away from that.
yeah, but I've been playing for over 15 years.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
learned by my college of poker is actual playing poker. And I asked one of my professional poker buddies a couple years ago, I said, well, should I start reading these books?
Hmm.
And he said, no, he's like, you have the experience and know what you're doing because I'm not a GTO player. I'm not, that's not what I
Right.
do. I go by instincts and just
Yeah.
like of knowing the cards and the
Hmm.
players that we're playing
Right.
against sometimes.
Right.
So that's, I just do it that way.
I'm
It works for
learning,
me.
I've been learning GTO for the last year or so, as you know, but
Yeah,
my skills took a hit because I started questioning everything, which I guess everybody does. And you know what? Times change. Nobody's going to play like a solver. My strengths are my women's intuition, in my opinion.
I
I
agree.
get guys bluffing me constantly, and women, where I'm just waiting for them to do that. And yeah, do I call bad sometimes? Yeah, but most of the time, I'm not. I'm calling when they're just, I could feel their desperation. I could just feel, we're women. And so I think anything that where we listen more to our intuition, and for me to be mechanical and strategic and think through, like, I'm going to do this. They'll probably do this, then I'll do that, or I'll do this. Like, I love that stuff. And I have heard it keeps you young. Like it's going to help keep our brains young.
That's for sure. It does. You're always thinking when you're playing poker, you're trying to figure things out and it does keep you young.
And
It's like doing a
practice.
puzzle. Yeah, practice.
Totally. Practice staying focused for that many
Yes.
hours. We can talk about tournaments versus cash if
Mhm.
anybody wants to know that. And we can talk about interviews. I want to interview. I've already been reaching out to some people, even though like we don't even have a podcast yet, but I'm a manifester.
I know,
I
I
want
love
to,
it.
there's like
Hard
so,
worker.
yeah, I work a lot. I have two speeds, on and off. I do not like full bore and completely dead, but
I love it.
um I haven't died yet. I like all the way on in the hospital. I don't know, but I'm gonna that's true.
I do. That's great.
I need fluid. But
Good stuff.
I
Great.
go a million miles an hour. But I mean, I like having fun too, and we're only gonna live once, so let's just do it, right? So we have a
Yes.
list for you guys of the women. We love suggestions. Tell us who you want us to ask. I literally will go right up and ask them, or I will
I see you
email
will.
them.
You're great.
I will email them whatever we need. If like we know a lot of poker players at this point, so we can ask, we'll find somebody who knows the person we want
Yeah,
to talk to, right?
definitely. We know so
Yeah,
many people now. We just have to go up to someone that we know that knows that person and just, put it out there.
awesome. So for our next episode, what are we gonna cover? I'm thinking maybe why are there less women, and we could ask for opinions if anybody has any opinions. Like, do we suck? Are we just, is it a man's world? Like all maybe we'll talk about that for a few minutes. And what else do you want to talk about?
Well, it's interesting because even though we're still 5% of the league,
Hmm.
of, if you go to Hendon Mob, there's over 800,000 players
That's
listed,
insane.
recreational
Wow.
players and professionals. And out of those 800,000 players, I think only 16,000 are women.
Wow.
Because when
That's
we were looking at
amazing.
it
Yeah,
yesterday, when I had the list of female players,
I didn't see
it
the
could be
total.
more. It could be
Oh.
more because, like me, I'm not up there as a
Hmm.
woman. But if
Okay.
let's round it out to 20,000 women.
Right.
That's still less than, let's see, 800,000. 10% is 80,000. That's less than, gosh, 1%
And I don't know how many of those are
to
current. And
2.5%. Yeah,
yeah, and another thing on that note, let's talk about Hendon Mob. We'll tell you guys what Hendon Mob is if you don't know, and how to get listed as a woman, because as of last week or as of yesterday, I'm still not listed as a woman. There's a photo now. So we can assume, and I'm starting to get all of my winnings listed, and we could tell you guys how to do that, because that might be part of it, is women aren't being counted. I am seeing
correct.
more women in tournaments, aren't you?
I do. It's
Okay.
especially locally. I am seeing more. I feel like lucky lady, there's more women,
Yes,
a
for
lot more
sure.
women than the rest of them. And then when you go to series games, the ones that come into town for a special 2 or 3 weeks, those are the ones I see more female poker players. That's because I went to Commerce on Sunday night
Mm-hmm.
for, was it no, Saturday. It was Saturday night for the beginning of the World Series. It was a side event, and
Oh,
when I walked in, I noticed that there were a lot of women there. So there must be women that only play the big games and are saving their money and their
maybe.
purse for
Yeah.
specific ones like that. But the
Yes.
regular rec player, there should be more players.
At WSOP this last weekend on Sunday, we had, I told you, three females at my table. And
That's
there
great.
was uh we're going to talk about Christina Goggins. They call me Baby Shark. Also, maybe next time, that she crushed. Go to the Queens of Poker on Instagram and look at this video of the laydown she made, you guys. And there were two women at the final table for the housewarming event, which was a lot of money. I think one of them went out in eighth. I forget her first name. Her last name is Rock. I've played with her. I think she got about, I can't remember. I think it might have been 11,000,
That's great.
and for a $600 buy-in. And then Goggins got first place and the ring and the Tournament of Champions. Like, she owned that final table. She crushed it. Like, I was just watching her. Like, she uses aggression beautifully. Like, yeah, I've not seen anything, and I watch a lot of poker.
That's
So
great.
maybe we'll show some clips if we can figure out how to do that.
Yes, we can. We can
We're not
totally
good
do
with the
that.
technology, but we're gonna figure it out for
We're
this
learning. This
podcast.
is, yeah,
Yes.
exactly. We're learning. We're
Yes.
doing this one by one, trying to figure
Yeah.
it out. And yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I think we should also, because my hat is pronounced, showing it is Ace King. Why is Ace King so bad? So
Yeah. Her
that's a
hat, if you
conversation.
I can't really see it, but so it says Ace King no good on her hat. It's a hat that Sandy made as a prototype. I think you need it across your boobs, and I need it
Definitely.
across Ace King no good on the
Yeah,
boobies.
like a
I
little
think it'll
tank
get
top.
seen more than on our heads, but who knows?
True.
But that is a good sorry guys, joking. That is a good that is a good topic. Is ace queen is ace king, because you and I have talked about it for quite some time
Yeah.
yesterday when we're supposed to be rehearsing. Is it just another suited or unsuited connector, or should it be overplayed as it often is?
I think we both believe that it's
Yeah.
overvalued in the regular play, and it should be
Yeah.
really valued when it's deep in a
W-
tournament for sure.
And you know what? Christina did an interview with my friend Cairo. Shout out to Cairo. Cairo loves you on all the channels and YouTube. Go see, he has a clip of it, or it's on Commerce Casinos clip where she said something like, she didn't say Ace King is overvalued, but she was the first to act, I believe, and she said that once the older gentleman with the queens, we know later that he had queens. Once he called, she knew he wasn't like just trying to push her off the hand or being crazy. And she'd already been called by kings, I believe. I can't remember the exact
Yeah.
sequence, but she got a chance to lay down Ace King offsuit, and she laid it down like a pro. And I think that won her 50,000 extra dollars, and probably the ring and the tournament and all that.
Yeah, that's a good conversation of when to lay down ace king to make
Yes.
to go
Yes.
further, because a lot of people don't lay it down when they should because they
Right.
either are frustrated or they're tired of waiting for their
Right.
cards to come through. So that's a really
Or
good
they just
conversation
don't
to have.
understand the
How
the
to play
the
it.
mathematics and what they're looking at. You need to know the other people a little bit. I told you, I laid it down a couple times in that seniors. I think I played too tight, but I folded to another lady older than I am who looked like she plays more than I do. I do. And I don't know. I never got a chance. She said she would tell me later if I made a good laydown, because I showed her when I laid down tens to her
Right.
aggression, but I never got a chance because we just didn't run into each other. I will remember her and ask her though.
That's a good idea. I know. I
Yeah.
love those things that certain moves you make or decisions you make and how you remember them. Those are
I
great.
you don't do you remember yours?
Certain ones, certain
I
ones. I remember a lot certain bad beats more and who the person was, and I'll be like, "You did that to me," and they'll be
yeah.
like, "Oh my God, that was like a year ago." I
Yeah.
know, but it really made such an impression on my hand and how I felt that
Your
day.
tournament too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so my
right.
tournament life.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a skill I found out years ago at Green Valley Ranch, that I could return a year later and not only remember every person and like their situation, what they said about their wife or whatever, but I remembered the hands and how they played. How
That's
crazy
great.
is that?
No,
I
that's good.
know.
That's very smart. It's good to have that memory, especially if you go back to somewhere that you're not normally playing at to remember certain things. It's
Be-
important.
And we could talk about that too. When you don't play at your regular venue, how much harder is it when you are playing with other people that you don't know?
Yes,
Right. And then I had
definitely.
something new we could talk about too. I had a lady at the gardens try to mad dog me. Did not try. She mad dogged me. She mad dogged the whole table in their bounty game. I had never seen her before. I haven't seen her since, but it was the craziest thing I've seen. So maybe I wish I had a video of it after she was knocked out in like four hands,
Mhm.
but it was all on her. She literally caught me at a bad time when I had a hand, and I folded one to her, and the second one I said, yeah, that's not going to work this time, because I think I had aces with two people already all in, and she just walked away without a word, but it was like so blatant and so like when she walked away, the guys were like, what is wrong with her? And I said, don't say it. Like I thought one of them was going to say that time of the month or something, but
Oh God, yeah.
this was this was like way, we were all laughing. This was on way beyond that level. It was just, and then I noticed she went to another table like an hour later before rebuy was over. And I didn't see her when I got knocked out, which was fairly late. But yeah, it was interesting. A younger lady though.
And you've never seen her since.
No,
That's
and
just,
because that was the last time I played at Gardens, probably less than a month ago, maybe three
oh,
weeks.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
So
the universe brings something like that into our world of poker, maybe to teach us a lesson by the way she was playing. And then someone comes in and it goes out like a hurricane. Maybe
yeah.
that's what it was. Or it teaches you for the next time that if you run into her, this is who this person is and how she plays.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe she was just in a bad mood or having a bad day. I mean, she did not say one word either. And I said, "Hi, welcome to the table." And she just glared at me and just kept shoving all in or raising. And I was like, all right, well, let's do
That,
it this way. Want to do
that's
it
a good
that way?
topic. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good topic on
So
how to act at a poker table.
I've had men do that. I've never had a
Yeah.
woman do it that blatantly. It's like, okay, I don't want to fight with you, but we're
I'm
playing a
always
game.
nice. I always go out of
You
my way
are.
to be nice to
You are.
women.
I
Yeah, I go out
try.
my,
I
yeah, I
try.
try. I do it like once. I smile. I try to have a conversation. If they're not in, I'm like, well, I tried.
Yeah,
I'm like,
me too. I've been
yeah,
working on not tilting.
yeah,
Like, and because sometimes when I tilt, I can get nasty and just, it's not their fault. It's not personal. They're calling with 5-6 for a reason. I don't know what it is, but 5-6 offsuit or 2-7 or who knows what. But I'm being facetious. But yeah, I have been working on that and doing a lot better at just, you know what, it's a game. Let it go. Let it go.
that's why I wear, that's why I like wearing a headphones. And
Yes,
if I get tilted, I just ignore what
me
just
too.
happens and just move on. And even if
Yeah.
they're talking about it, I don't hear it. So it helps me kind of regroup.
And we can talk about that too. So we
Yeah.
have actually stuff to talk about, you guys, ladies, gentlemen. Please come back as soon as we learn how to live stream. We will live stream, and I'm gonna talk to Vince and Russ and see you talk to who you want to, and let's see who we can get to start coming on and answering some of these questions for us.
That sounds
Like,
good.
I would love to know why we can't have ladies tournaments in California. And they told me the laws, but what needs to happen? Like, how is there a path to that? Because we love them, all ladies. Women will travel to LA. All those Lips women said they would travel here. Everybody wants to come to LA. They're not going to travel definitely unless there's a really good tournament. And we all do
Definitely.
that to support Lips and WPA.
Definitely. Yeah, we'd
So,
love to at some point sponsor and be able to do a ladies tournament and have people
um,
come. That would
that
be
would
amazing.
Yeah, and I've already talked to well, I've texted with Lupe Soto about that and said I want to help you. Let's figure this out. Let's do it because she really wants to get one going here too.
Great. Let's do
So,
it.
and I'm gonna try to go to Vegas in the meantime. But you're right, we have so many tournaments here. It's hard to leave
I
home
know.
for that.
Yeah, I love it. We have a lot to talk about and discuss
Yeah.
in the world of women in poker.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll jump on and tease on Instagram all the for sure topics for next week. And please tell your friends. Please subscribe, like, follow whatever you do on YouTube so that make comments, let us know what you want us to talk about so that we know that we should keep going with this. We're
Yeah,
probably going to keep
please
going.
definitely tell us your questions. Please put in your questions. We'd love to discuss it.
Comments, be kind. You don't have to, just comment and
Yeah.
we'll start there. We have thick skins. And yeah, ladies, if you have anything you want to know, let us know. And we are planning to be here once a week, probably on Wednesdays, probably at 8 p.m. Unless we have a really important tournament, then we will be there. We will push
Exactly.
it back like, oh, I want to shout out the LA Poker Roundup also.
Yes,
um,
Ty and Derek.
Ty and Derek, they inspired me to find Sandy and do this because they just made it look so easy and it's so helpful. I love that freaking podcast because it's everything I think about poker tournaments,
And
right?
it's local and it's for us, for the recreational
It's for
players.
all of us players who live in LA and or play in LA, which is the greater California area and Vegas. If you need to know anything about any of it, they've got the tournament directors coming in and they had Matt Savage. Like, they're killing it. They're doing live at the Commerce. So
Yeah,
that's,
they're
yeah,
really great with letting us know about the series that are always coming up at the casinos. They break it down. They're just really nice guys. They're great representative
yeah. And
to talk to everyone and do
I
this. So they're
told you
great.
they were. I'm glad you watched. And Poker
Yeah.
Crushers. Like, I'm not mathematical, so I didn't think about a lot of the things they were talking about with some of the ways some of the tournaments were structured at Commerce during LAPC and that they maybe favored pros and not rec players. I'm a rec player. So they really have helped me think about those things in another way, which I didn't have a clue about or didn't really think about. So maybe we can get one of them on to talk about that. But in the meantime, go watch their podcast on
Yeah.
YouTube, LA Poker Roundup, I believe.
Yes. LA Poker Roundup, and they do it weekly. It's also, you can get it on YouTube. You can also get it on as a podcast on any of the sites like Apple,
Oh,
Spotify.
I didn't know that. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay. Then I can listen in the car. That might be easier.
Yeah.
Oh, if you go to Lucky Lady and play the tournaments, say hi to the host, tell him that you heard it on our podcast. If you did.
That's great.
Yeah,
Good shout
that's
out.
good, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
All right. We don't have an outro, so we're just gonna say sayonara.
Bye.
See you
So
next
exciting.
week. Yeah.
See you
All
next
right.
week. Bye.
Bye, guys.